All right, hello everyone who's watching. This is the 2025 7th Annual National Biology Bowl Championship round. This is between Windemere Ranch Middle School and Hopkins Middle School. Uh, you guys can wave right now. All right, let's get started.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Right, 2025 Playoffs Championship round. Toss-up, question one. Cells, multiple choice. Which enzyme produces the second messengers IP3 and DAG? W. Phosphatase C. X. Phosphorylase C. Y. Phosphokinase C. Or Z. Hopkins 2.
Z.
Z is correct. Bonus. Question 1. Cells. Short answer. With the help of calcium, DAG, or diacylglycerol, activates which enzyme in the cell?
Let's just guess protein kinase A.
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
Okay. Protein kinase A. Final.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is protein kinase C. Toss up. Question 2. Genetics, multiple choice. What is the repair mechanism to repair thymine dimers, a condition caused by UV radiation? W. Mismatch repair. X. Base excision repair. Y. Nucleotide excision repair. Or Z. Windermere Captain.
Why?
Y is correct. Bonus. Question 2. Genetics, short answer. Which condition is caused by mutation to an enzyme that functions in nucleotide excision repair and is characterized by extreme sensitivity to light, high risk of skin cancers?
Xeroderma pigmentosa, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Um, Wait, let me write it quickly so I don't mess up. Okay. Xeroderma pigmentosa, final answer.
That is correct. Toss up. Question 3, evolution and classification, multiple choice. Which term means an evolutionary change in the timing of developmental events in animals leading to morphological differences? W. Cephalization. X. Allometry. Y. Heterochrony. Or Z. Hopkins 2.
Y.
Y is correct. Bonus. Question 3. Evolution and classification, short answer. Which term means the evolutionary retention of overall juvenile characteristics in an animal that is sexually mature, as exemplified by the salamander axolotl?
Paidomorphosis. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Paidomorphosis. Final.
That is correct. Toss up. Question 4, microorganisms, multiple choice. In which membrane is the endotoxin located in a bacteria? W. The inner membrane of gram-positive bacteria. X. The outer membrane of gram-positive bacteria. Y. The inner membrane of gram-negative bacteria. Or Z. The outer membrane of gram-negative bacteria. Windermere Captain.
Why?
Y is incorrect. Hopkins 1.
Z.
Z is correct. Bonus. Question 4. Microorganisms. Short answer. What is the chemical identity of the endotoxin in gram-negative bacteria?
What is the what?
The
Chemical.
chemical identity.
Yeah.
What does an endotoxin do?
It's
I
like
forgot.
it makes people sick. That's all I remember.
Wow. So.
5 seconds remaining.
Yes, something.
That's time.
All right. The answer was lipopolysaccharide or LPS. Toss up. Question 5. Plants, multiple choice. Which of the following is not one of the processes induced by ethylene? W. Leaf activation. X. Fruit ripening. Y. Triple response. Or Hopkins 3.
Z.
Z is correct. Bonus. Question 5. Plants, short answer. Which plant hormone induces stomatal closure in times of drought, in addition to maintaining seed dormancy?
Oh, abscisic acid.
I think it's gibberellin.
Yeah.
Or oh,
No, C, dormancy. Not
Okay.
C, growth.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, abscisic acid. Final answer.
That is correct. Toss-up. Question 6, animals and behavior, multiple choice. Which of the following is not one of the characteristics of deuterostome development in animals? W. Hollow and dorsal nerve cord. X. Blastopore becomes the mouth. Y. Windemere Captain.
X.
X is correct. Bonus. Question 6, animals and behavior, short answer. Name the 2 animal phyla that are deuterostomes.
Echinodermata.
and chordata, right?
Okay. Technically, it's also hemichordata, but okay. Echinodermata and chordata, final answer.
That is correct. Toss-up. Question 7, human body, multiple choice. Which of the following structures in the human brain houses the biological clock that controls our Hopkins 3?
Hypothalamus.
That is correct. Bonus. Question 7, human body, short answer. What is the biological clock inside the hypothalamus called?
The circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Or
No.
Wait.
It's obvious, right? It's
Yeah.
suprachiasmatic nucleus,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a structure.
yeah.
Arush.
Okay. Wait, but what did they ask for the structure or the thing? I think it was asking for the name.
5 seconds remaining.
Suprachiasmatic nucleus, final.
That is correct. Question 8, ecology, toss-up, multiple choice. The agave plant of South America's desert lives for Hopkins 1.
Semal parity.
That is correct. Bonus. Question 8, ecology, short answer. What reproductive strategy do mammals demonstrate?
That's heteroparity, right?
I mean,
Yeah, and also, how
yeah.
did you get semal parity?
The agave plant is like kind of like stock for semal parity.
Okay. Heteroparity, final.
That is correct. Toss-up. Question 9, cells, multiple choice. Which of the following cell junctions contains the protein cadherin that mediates cell-to-cell adhesion? W. Tight junction. X. Desmosome. Y. Hopkins 2.
X.
X is correct. Bonus. Question 9. Cells, short answer. Which junction is found in the intercalated discs of the cardiac muscle?
It should be tighter gap, I think.
Tighter
gap.
Um,
You sure? No, I'm not sure, but
Tight is
Okay.
usually for like waterproof
Yeah, I
stuff,
don't
right?
think it would be tight. So
Yeah, so
I think we want to go with gap.
well,
yeah,
but then again,
or
muscles are
something else.
usually
5
des
seconds remaining.
okay,
so desmosomes.
gap junctions, final.
That is correct. Toss-up. Question 10. Genetics, multiple choice. In CRISPR-Cas9, which part of the cRNA sequence is complementary to the target sequence? W. Spacer. X. Protospacer. Y. PAM. Or Z. T. Tracer RNA. Windemere Captain.
Z.
Z is incorrect. Hopkins 3.
X.
X is also incorrect. The correct answer is W, spacer. Question 11, toss-up, evolution and classification, multiple choice. Which of the following animal traits first evolved during the Cambrian explosion? W, predation. X, segmentation. Y, parental care. Or Z, Hopkins 1.
Z.
Z is incorrect. 4 points to the other team. W, predation. X, segmentation. Y, parental care. Or Z, bilateral symmetry. Windermere Captain.
X.
X is also incorrect. The correct answer is W, predation. Toss-up. Question 12, microorganisms, multiple choice. Which of the following infectious diseases is caused by the bacteria Borrelia burgdorferi? Windermere Captain.
Lyme disease.
That is correct. Bonus. Question 12, microorganisms, short answer. What is the vector that transmits the bacteria that causes Lyme disease to humans?
Tick.
Tick.
Yeah. Okay. Tick, final answer.
Okay, that is, I'm gonna say it's incorrect. I'm looking for a more specific answer. I was looking for, black leg tick or deer tick?
Can we scientific challenge? You never said anything about specificity. It just asked for the vector, which is the tick or a tick.
Well,
Okay.
not all ticks transmit
Yes.
Lyme
Yeah.
disease technically, so
Right.
But in that
Yeah.
case, we should say that malaria is not vector is not like mosquito, even though because not all mosquitoes are infected by the protozoan parasite. So in
Right.
that case, I believe that you should accept tick.
Casey and Jacqueline, what are your thoughts?
I believe so too, if I'm not wrong. But what about you, Casey? I personally think it should be fine. However, I do have a slight, I guess I would have a slight challenge to the mosquito example, but if you guys are willing to let it slide with the ticks, I think that's enough.
Okay, then we will accept tick. Toss up. Question 13.
Oh,
Plants.
also, that was the end of the first half.
Oh, okay. That's the first half. Please come back in 2 minutes.
All right, everyone. The 2-minute break is now up. If you guys could all turn on your cameras, that would be great.
Cameras on. Again, just before we start, you guys are guaranteed to have a very, very, very big trophy. Currently, there is a consolation round going on for third and fourth place. Third place will also receive a very big trophy, but fourth place will only receive a medal. And all of you will also receive a medal as well. So congratulations already. Again, no matter how the rest of the round goes, just know that you guys have done really, really well. You guys have made it extremely far. Not many people have made it to where you are right now. So yes. Okay, let me know when we can start.
Oh, I'm ready when you are.
All right. All right. Toss up. Question 13, plants, multiple choice. Which of the following is not one of the plant traits shared in common with the charophytes, the green algae that are plants' closest living relatives? W. Cell wall made of cellulose. X. Sporopollen in spores. Y. Rosette-shaped cellulose synthesizing complex. Windermere Captain.
W.
W is incorrect. That is interrupt. 4 points to the other team. W, cell wall made of cellulose. X, sporopollen in spores. Y, rosette-shaped cellulose synthesizing complex. Or Z, chlorophyll A and B. Hopkins 1.
Z.
Z is incorrect. The correct answer is X, sporopollen in spores. Toss-up, question 14, animals and behavior, multiple choice. In optimal foraging theory, according to the marginal value theorem, which of the following would compel the animal to stay the longest in a food patch? W, low average calories, long average travel distance between patches. X, low average calories, short average travel distance between patches. Hopkins 4.
W.
W is incorrect. 4 points to the other team. W, low average calories, long average travel distance between patches. X, low average calories, short average travel distance between patches. Y, high average calories, long average travel distance between patches. Or Z, high average calories, short average travel distance between patches. It's Windemere Captain.
Z.
Z is incorrect. The correct answer is Y. Toss-up, question 15, human body, multiple choice. Which hormone stimulates the production of red blood cells in bone marrow? W, cytokine. X, cortisol. Y.
I buzz.
Oh,
There's a
sorry.
buzz.
Oh, Hopkins 2.
Erythropoietin.
That is correct. Bonus, question 15, human body, short answer. Which organ in the body produces erythropoietin?
It should be bone marrow, I think.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. That's where they come from.
It's
Oh,
not,
yeah, that's true.
plus it's not an organ, so.
I mean, bone marrow is an organ.
Okay, just like
Wait,
Uh,
huh?
it's
Like-
probably a gland.
Or yeah, okay.
So
I don't know. I feel like I don't think there's any gland that secretes erythropoietin.
I mean, okay, you can say like,
pituitary. I just feel like it.
Oh, it's not pituitary.
5 seconds
Okay.
remaining.
Bone marrow final.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is kidney. Toss-up, question 16, ecology, multiple choice. The food chain in any ecosystem is typically not very long, containing only about 4 or 5 trophic levels. Of the following, what is the correct hypothesis that explains that shortness of food chains? W, energetic hypothesis. X, a Windermere Captain.
W.
W is correct. Bonus, question 16, ecology, short answer. What is the accumulation of greater concentrations of toxins in higher trophic levels, resulting in very high concentration of toxins in the bodies of top predators?
Bioaccumulation.
Biomagnification.
Oh, sorry, biomagnification. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, biomagnification. Biomagnification, final answer.
That is correct. Toss-up, question 17, cells, multiple choice. After a cell receives an apoptotic signal, which event leads to the activation of caspases and eventual cell death? W, disassembly of nuclear envelope. X, leakage of cytochrome C from mitochondria. Y, fragmentation of DNA. Or Z, collapse of the cytoskeleton. Hopkins 4.
I think he said something.
Yeah, I heard something out of his mic, but it cut off. Say it again.
I said X.
X is correct. Bonus, question 17, cells, short answer. Which phospholipid is externalized and becomes exposed on the cell membrane as a signal to phagocytes to phagocytosize an apoptotic cell?
Wait.
oh, what's on the outside?
Like a phospholipid that
It has to have a name.
Yeah.
Does it start with C?
Okay, GP or no, that's different.
I'm just gonna say death signaling molecule.
5
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, death signaling molecule final.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is phosphatidylserine. Toss-up, question 18, genetics, multiple choice. Which of the following syndrome is trisomy 18? W, Down syndrome. X, Windermere Captain.
Edwards syndrome.
That is correct. Bonus. Question 18, genetics, short answer. What are the names for these two aneuploidy conditions, XXY and XO?
Klinefelter and Turner
Didn't we literally get this
Yeah,
question earlier?
Klinefelter syndrome and Turner syndrome, final answer.
That is correct. Toss up. Question 19, human body, multiple choice. Which of the following does not cause the Bohr shift in the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve? W, increased temperature. X, increased carbon dioxide concentration. Y, increased 2,3 BPG. Or Z, Windermere Captain?
Why?
Y is incorrect. 4 points to the other team. W, increased temperature. X, increased carbon dioxide concentration. Y, increased 2,3 BPG. Or Z, increased pH. Hopkins 2.
W.
W is incorrect. The correct answer is Z, increased pH. Toss up. Question 20. Cells, multiple choice. In which of the following organelles does beta oxidation take place? W, lysosome. X, Windermere Captain?
Mitochondrion?
That is incorrect. 4 points to the other team. W, lysosome. X, peroxisome. Y, centrosome. Or Z, endosome. Hopkins 4.
Lysosome.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is peroxisome. Toss up. Question 21. Genetics, multiple choice. Which RNA is transcribed from the DNA in the cell's genome, is incorporated into the protein complex RISC, and later either prevents translation of mRNA or causes its degradation? W, siRNA. X, piRNA. Y, snRNA. Or Z, miRNA? Hopkins 2.
W.
W is incorrect.
I buzz.
Did you rebuzz in?
Oh,
You need
sorry.
to. Windermere Captain.
piRNA?
Can you repeat that?
piRNA?
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Z, miRNA. Toss up. Question 24. Human body, multiple choice. In oxidative burst in phagocytic cells, which of the following donates electrons to oxygen, generating superoxides as the first step in producing reactive oxygen species, or ROS, to destroy engulfed microbes? W, NADH. X, NADPH. Y, FADH2. Or Z, cytochrome C? Windermere Captain.
Why?
Y is incorrect. Hopkins 3.
X.
X is correct. Bonus. Question 22. Human body, short answer. A 3-year-old child presents with recurrent bacterial and fungal infections. Laboratory studies reveal defective production of reactive oxygen species in neutrophils due to a mutation affecting the NADPH oxidase complex. What is the most likely diagnosis?
Okay. Severe immunodeficiency syndrome, final answer.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is chronic granulomatous disease, or CGD. Toss up. Question 23. Cells, multiple choice. In cellular respiration that uses glucose as the starting compound, how many NADH molecules are produced per glucose at the end of the Krebs cycle? W, 12. X, 10. Y, Hopkins 2.
10.
10 is incorrect. 4 points to the other team. W, 12. X, 10. Y, 14. Or Z, 8? Windermere Captain?
W?
W is correct. Bonus. Question 23. Cells, short answer. In the electron transport chain, in the inner mitochondrial membrane, which molecule does FADH2 release the electrons to?
FADH2. Is it like oxygen? Wait, shoot. Oxygen? Should I just go with it?
Just
What
go
do you
with
guys
it.
think? Okay, I can just say oxygen then. Okay, oxygen, final answer.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is ubiquinone, or
I
coenzyme.
would like to protest the NADH question?
It's too late.
It's too late. We've already moved on to a different question.
Oh, okay.
Toss
Um,
up. Question
oh,
24.
I would
Oh,
also like to say that is time. That is
all
the
right.
end of it.
All right. Then that is time. Team captains, initials inside the chat. Good game between you two. All right. All right. Congratulations.
Wait, since the round is over, can you reread the NADH question? I just
Yeah,
want
sure. Give me 2 seconds while I report the score. Second while I load it up. Right. So the question was, in cellular respiration that uses glucose as the starting compound, how many NADH molecules are produced per glucose at the end of the Krebs cycle?
And what was W, the correct answer?
12.
It was 12.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's 2 NADH produced from glycolysis, 2 from pyruvate oxidation, and then 3 from or 6 from NADH. So it should be 6 plus 2 plus 2 is 10.
Well, how many NADH molecules? Yeah, I feel like your answer is right too. Hold on, let me see.
What was the question?
In cellular respiration, I'm sorry, I'm gonna end the